Hi. And we're on to number 4. Can you believe that time has passed so quickly? Did you miss me? Okay. I want you to get out your book again. Okay. Small group discussion for Korean students. You would be the Korean students. And the discussion is coming up. All right, let's take a look at page 113. Today we're going to be talking about internet addiction. Internet addiction. All right. 113, internet addiction. It says probably the biggest danger facing Korean young people today. Okay. Now it's got a picture here. It says a Korean PC Bong cyber cafe. About 10 to 20% of high school students can be categorized as web junkies. In other words, they're addicted to the internet, who need treatment from even a conservative perspective. In other words, even conservatively, from a point of view of being a conservative, they need treatment. We must take the problem more seriously and grapple with it now. Fight with it, destroy it, kill it, deal with it. This is from Professor Kwon Jung-hee of Korea University. And you know, when Professor Kwon Jung-hee of Korean University speaks, people listen. All right. It's hard to argue that Korea's rapid rate of connectivity, that's being connected to the internet, can be anything but an asset, something that's good for, something that's useful to the country. It has already paid off as Korea's reputation as a high-tech technology powerhouse is well established around the world. In other words, we've already seen dividends. It's already something shown to be positive, right? In 2005, the Korea Times reported that Korea had the world's highest per capita internet penetration ratio. Well, basically, this means that the number of people that are using the internet per capita means that by the percentage, with more than 11 million households having 24/7 internet access. In other words, 11 million households, which is about a fifth of the country, something like that, have internet access that's all the time, nonstop, whenever they want it. The same report revealed that 70 million Koreans go online periodically. In other words, they go on a lot, right? But they're not online all the time. They go on from time to time. Okay? These are astounding figures. In other words, unbelievable. They're unbelievable figures, unbelievable numbers, unequaled by any other country in the world, and something to be proud of. So I hope you're proud of that. But there is a dark side to cyberspace, and it's called internet addiction, a mental disorder that affects more people in Korea than anywhere else, than any other country. It is the inability to know when to turn the computer off. So it's an addiction. It's like a cigarette addiction or an alcohol addiction or a sex addiction. It's addiction. You just can't stop. A survey taken in 2003 found that 41% of Korean middle and high school students showed the symptoms of internet abuse. In other words, they showed signs that they were addicted to the internet. Becoming addicted to the internet is probably the biggest danger facing Korean young people today. Now, let's look on page 114. Page 114, over here, 114. Okay. Young Koreans are drawn to the internet for two main reasons: gaming and pornography. Gaming, of course, means that, you play internet games. Pornography, you know what that is. The first of these, gaming, is a phenomenon in Korea. In other words, it's this unbelievable thing in Korea. And it attracts many, and it's really popular too, and it attracts many males between the age of 15 and 30. In 2005, there were 17 million gamers in Korea. 17 million! Think about how many gamers that is. But too much gaming can be deadly. In other words, it can kill you. In 2002, a 25-year-old died after playing online games for 86 hours straight. In other words, without stopping. Eating nothing but instant noodles for 3 days. Another young man died in 2005 doing the same thing. Now, let's go to our next category, which is pornography, prostitution, and sex. The other big draw, or attraction, for Koreans involves online text and video chatting. More than 10 million Koreans participate in text chatting and about 1 million in video chatting. Most of the chatting is about sex. That has created a whole new set of problems for Korean society. Thanks to the internet, teenagers can now look at pornographic pictures at any time they want. As a result, teenage prostitution is flourishing. In other words, it's expanding, it's getting bigger. And married women who are unsatisfied with their husbands are having sex with strangers on the side. In other words, with people outside of their marriage. Teenage prostitution is now 100% internet-based, and the divorce rate in Korea is rising. 60% of divorces are now being blamed on extramarital affairs. Well, you remember what an extramarital affair is. It's adultery that happens outside of your marriage, which originated from meetings made in online chat rooms. Now, go to page 115. Page 115. Internet addiction affects certain types of people more than others. Shy people are much more susceptible than people who are active and outgoing. Susceptible means that it's easy to be affected. If you're susceptible to something, it means that you're more likely to be attracted to it. Teenagers who become addicted are almost always unpopular at schools and have very few friends. They exhibit antisocial behavior. In other words, they don't get along with people very well. They don't like people very well, and they react badly to other people. And get more pleasure out of playing online games at home than hanging out with friends. The online activities that hook most addicts, in other words, that get the addicts and make them be addicted, are gaming, instant messaging, pornography, and chat rooms. Internet addiction is such a big problem in Korea that the government has gotten involved. By 2006, 2 branches of the Center for Internet Addiction Prevention and Counseling, also known as CIAPC, has already opened, with plans to open 3 more by 2010. In 2007, a startup company is actually a new company that has just begun, called Extiv, came up with an interesting new way to treat gaming junkies. After the gamer has spent a certain period of time at the machine, a sound containing a subliminal message. A subliminal message is a message that plays underneath the sound. You might not be able to hear it, but it plays underneath the sound and your brain picks it up. An example of a subliminal message, they have these in grocery stores in California. They'll have the music playing and you'll hear the music, and you can hear the music, but a subliminal message will be under the music. So there will be a man's voice under the music that says, "Don't steal. Stealing is bad. Your wife and your children would be very disappointed." Now, you can't hear that because there's music playing, but underneath it, your subconscious can hear it. That's subliminal messaging. Okay? So a subliminal message starts to play. The message tells him to stop playing. The player is not aware of the message, but his subconscious is. In other words, what's below his level of thinking, what's deep inside his brain. Extiv says it really works. All right, so now what I'd like you to do is take a look on page 116 here, and I'd like you to answer these discussion questions. Go to Voxapop and record your answer. This is our last discussion that we have. It's our last speaking class. Aren't you sad? Aren't you going to miss it? Aren't you? Cry a few tears if you want, but it's okay. And we will hopefully talk soon. And that's it. Bye.